Hey, welcome back. Yvonne Wakefield's YouTube channel. We're doing a quickie kitchen sink tale. Next week we will finish off the book, Babe in the Woods, Building a Life One Log at a Time. But there's an incident that happened this week that's stimulated a lot of conversation. Unfortunately, there was an insurance executive who was gunned down in cold blood by somebody probably allegedly disturbed by the insurance process. And this has delved up this whole social media thing about people who've experienced being ripped off, beat up, frustrated by insurance companies. I have my own little tale to tell you about that. About 7 years ago, I was hit by an 89-year-old woman who totaled my car. I ended up getting 3 vertebrae damage to my neck and a concussion. The accident made it so I could no longer pull my chainsaw or split wood. But the process of, not only the debilitation process, but the process of going through this insurance company was worse than the pain I experienced or the disability. And I know a lot of people have been expressing the same emotion. There's no justification in killing somebody about this, but I want to read just a snippet from the 3rd book in the series, Babe in the Woods, Path to Totality, about my experience of being injured and then having to deal with the injury that the insurance companies are making worse because of all the process. So it's called Pain in the Neck. So I was going to the cabin in August, and but before I was going, I had an appointment scheduled for a pain clinic where they put like this thing in my neck to deal with the vertebrae. So it means you have to go under. And I had to create somebody to get me there and back. I had to get house sitters for my dog so I could do this. The night before the procedure, they called me up and they said, well, your insurance company canceled it. And like, I was at the point where I am so frustrated. I'm in so much pain. I was going to put rocks in my backpack and jump off the Dallas Bridge. That's how I got pushed so far. So instead of doing that, I went to the cabin. So I drove to the cabin, and what I say is I don't remember terminating my phone call to the medical receptionist who told me about that my appointment had been canceled, because short-term memory is part of the repercussion of TBI, traumatic brain injury, which I experienced from that concussion. So I had canceled classes and commitments, and with military precision arranged for animal care and rides to and from the medical suite. Now all this arranging was for naught. I packed the truck with necessities, including the pain in my neck that was supposed to be left at the pain clinic. The chainsaw was a last thought. I'd not been able to start it since an 89-year-old woman in an SUV sideswiped my compact car, an accidental maneuver that snapped my neck and scrambled my brain like egg yolk, the color of my total Ford Focus. So I get to the cabin and I try and start my Echo chainsaw, and I can't do it, and I can't do it. And I can't take my maul and split wood. So I'm ending up making like little bits of kindling to make a fire. And all the time I'm thinking about, it's probably 3 years since the accident, and I've had no kind of settlement. I've been permanently injured. And the frustration you have to carry with you through the processes that you can no longer do is, I think, as debilitating sometimes as the injury. So I just want to say to all of you who've had this experience, riding out the insurance procedure can be worse than the accident, but stick up, find some friends to support you, and don't let that system hurt you worse than an accident. Anyway, that's kind of a dark thing, but we're going to get back to reading The Babes in the Woods. As always, stay hydrated, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.